Oh, hello. Welcome back to this week's installment of I super knew I was pregnant. There is no way around it. This is my 21-week baby bump update. That did not require a dance, but just go with it. We were pretty much on our baby moon the entire time, which was really fun and I really recommend it. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on the baby moon and why you should take one and why you should take a cruise and all of that. So I'm not gonna talk about it as much here because I know you're here to hear me talk about like flatulence. It's always the suggested symptom on my Ovia app. It's like, most people have flatulence their entire pregnancy apparently, so you probably have it too. And check here if so. Anyway, 21 weeks, I think I really started to feel like super duper pregnant. You know, I mean, I've been feeling pregnant most of the time, but at this point I'm having symptoms that are more related to my bump and the size of the baby. So that's actually pretty exciting. The baby is like humongous, like humongous. Like today I took a picture of a papaya for the size of the baby, and that thing, like we strapped it into the Bob stroller last night. We were like, oh, like we saw the little harness and we like put it together and we're like, oh, it's so tiny, it's so cute. I was like, I know the perfect thing to emulate the size of the baby. And I put the papaya in there. It looked great. It was very secure. So the baby's humongous. I mean, it's like, my bump feels like it's really big, but it's, considering that the baby's like almost a foot long, it doesn't seem that big. So one of the first symptoms on that note is that my stomach is up here. It's like right below my ribs. Last night, I was having a lot of like gurgly stomach. The gurgles were coming from like right under my diaphragm. That's where my stomach is now because there's a person where it used to be. And we actually met this girl on the cruise. I think she was 20 weeks at the time, and she was like not showing. At first I kind of felt like a fat ass, and then I felt kind of like if I had a foot long baby in me and I wasn't showing, like, where is it, you know? Like, I'm sure she feels the baby kick like all the time, but I don't know, there's something about the displacement of organs that's, I don't know, a little more intense when you're not showing and the baby is the size of a papaya. That's me just justifying my enormousness. Interestingly, I haven't had as much heartburn lately. I mean, I don't really know if it has a ton to do with the location of your stomach, but it seems like with my stomach being higher, the acid that like gurgles up or whatever would be more likely to gurgle. I don't know exactly how it works. I think it's because I said last week that I was gonna have heartburn for the rest of my pregnancy, so I'll take it. I have to pee all the time, like all the time. I feel like I have to pee, like I'm like, oh my God, I have to pee. And then I go to the bathroom and there's like nothing, you know? And I think it's just that I'm carrying very low. The baby, when I feel the kicks, is still very, very low. So I'm thinking that the baby's just kickboxing my bladder all the time. That's a pretty new symptom. I think before it was more hormonal. Maybe if the baby rises a little, I'll feel less of that for at least a little while. And then when the baby runs out of room, I'll feel it more. I feel really big. Like I can't see my feet. I haven't been able to see my feet for a couple weeks. I feel really large. People definitely now assume that I'm pregnant. They don't like not say anything because they don't know if I'm just fat or not. They ask me when the baby's due, if I know if it's a boy or a girl. Speaking of enormousness, I was out walking with my husband yesterday and we ran into some like neighborhood ladies, and they all looked at me like, oh my God, because I guess I hadn't seen them in a couple weeks, and a couple weeks ago I was much smaller. 3 weeks ago I wasn't even like showing at all, until one of them said to me, whoa, just imagine how you're gonna be when you're 8 months. And I was like, thank you, thank you. I'm huge. So up until this point in the pregnancy, I've had a really strange appetite. Like I can only eat small amounts of food and then I'm full for a very long time. And it's made it kind of hard for me to gain a lot of weight, I guess, which is not usually something like I have to struggle with. This week specifically, I've noticed, like I think it started last week where I started feeling hungry in the middle of the afternoon, but now it's pretty much like every couple hours after I eat, I'm hungry again. You know, that's going hand in hand with the baby's growth spurt and the baby's putting on fat and just getting, you know, heavier and bigger. That's an exciting symptom. I'm excited. I mean, I've been feeling the baby move a lot for, you know, a month now. This week I was poking my stomach like a nice lady. And the baby, I guess like had a flat foot and just jammed my hand back. And it scared the living out of me because it was like bony and like, it felt like it was like this big. It was really weird. So the baby's definitely getting bigger and stronger, which is cool. Like I feel like here pretty soon I'll be able to like actually capture the baby's kicks and stuff on video, even though that little sucker, like, oh my God. Like the baby could be kicking every 5 seconds for 5 minutes. And then as soon as I take out the video camera, they're done. He's done, she's done. The baby's done. Every time. And it's like if the baby's like kicking me so much that I'm like, stop kicking me, I'll take out the video. I'm not kidding. I will try to video the baby and it stops. You can play at this game. Over the last few days, I've noticed that I've been having more of a backache, and I can only imagine that's from my stomach is just launching forward. I notice that mostly when I walk around a lot, so I have to sit down and I'm kind of like, oh, that's annoying. It's really not that bad yet. Over the last week, I've noticed also I've been really, really hot at night. Up until this point, like I've always been hot natured, but I haven't had a lot of trouble with feeling like super warm until this week, and I can only imagine it's just gonna get worse. And then like I think lastly, I believe I've been having some pretty mild Braxton Hicks. I can tell when there's a kind of like just icky kind of, I don't know, tightening, kind of like crampy a little bit feeling. They're super mild. Like they're not painful at all yet, but I think that's what's going on. Pretty sure. I don't know what else it would be. It's kind of cool. It's like my body is preparing for labor, even though that's like many weeks away still. I had to buy new underwear, bigger underwear. So I thought I could get away with wearing the same underwear my whole pregnancy. And I'd always heard, you know, wait until you have to buy new underwear. And I was like, yeah. I don't think so. I mean, my bump is really low, and I mean, if you look at me from the side, it's like where it used to just be thigh flatness, it's like 4 inches further. It's much wider. I have a much wider, much larger diameter. So my sweet husband took me to Costco and I bought like a multi-pack of larger underwear, and it was a humbling experience for sure. God, man, like I'm excited to be not, I feel like one of those little like Mexican wrestlers in the tiny little briefs or whatever. Like that's what I look like on a normal basis. Like I'm still trying to squeeze myself into these underwear that I used to wear, and they were like, they're tiny, you know, and I'm not tiny anymore. So I bought new underwear. They're larger. I also, speaking of tiny bottoms, totally rocked the bikini on the beach, in the lounge, at the pool, and I loved it. I think that it was like quite clear that I was not just super fat, but only in the stomach. And it was like, I don't know, I loved it. It was good. I don't know if everyone else loved it, but I don't really care. I have a picture with my husband from when we were in Yucatan, Mexico. We were at a beach club and we were with some of the friends that we had met on the boat, and they took a picture of us. I'll show you what my little bump looks like. I don't know why I said little. I highly recommend it. All I did was buy a bikini in a larger size than I normally would, and work for me. In the picture, I think I'm actually wearing a bikini from my previous life, so it's quite small. The one I bought for the pregnancy is larger, and it's a lot more comfortable for everyone involved. And on that note, if you notice, I know that you memorize the general size of my boobs, but pretty sure that they're bigger this week. I'm pretty sure that stuff is happening there. You can kind of tell in that picture, I'm pretty sure that I'm not gonna be able to wear that top for much longer, which I'm pretty excited about because most of my friends have been bragging that like their milk came in like at 8 weeks pregnant and they had to buy a bra 3 sizes bigger or whatever. Still hasn't happened to me, but we're getting there. We're getting a lot closer. I gained 4.7 pounds from my pre-pregnancy weight and a total of 6 pounds from my lowest first trimester weight. So I guess I've gained 6 pounds. I don't know. I got an email from What to Expect when I was on the beach in Cozumel, and it was like, you need to have gained 10 to 15 pounds by now. So I started eating like 3 desserts every night. And so far I'm on the right track, kinda, almost. I don't know, my doctor isn't worried, but I know that not gaining enough weight can lead to a lower birth weight, so I'm kinda like, but I feel like just eating like a ton of ice cream isn't the answer as much as I would like it to be the answer. So I don't know. How much weight have you guys gained? Did you feel like it was too much or too little? What did your doctor say? Just let me know in the comments. That's it. Please subscribe and thumbs up this video. Like I always say, if it did not make you cry. If you thumbs it down, I'll cry.